I wanted to come here tonight and express my thank you to my fellow progressive Arlington County Democrats. I wanted to say thank you specifically to the Arlington County Democratic Committee and everyone connected in Arlington with the Arlington County, with ACDC. I am grateful for the enormous privilege you allow me to serve you in elected office. Going almost 12 years now, but by the end, if I end up serving the entire term, it'll be almost 13 years. Time does go by fast when you're having fun. I guess some people might describe me as a fighter for human and civil rights, for social and economic justice. And I kind of like that description. And probably it's because my democratic philosophy best fit in within the Democratic Party and for those values. It's probably due because I was born with no income, born in another country, El Salvador in my case. Wonder how many people in the U.S. Get to be elected officials, much less someone who was born in another country. So my background is no income. My mom sent remittances to her 3 children back home when she came to work here as domestic and working tough in factories. And I shine shoes in the streets of San Salvador to help my community, my family make it through. And then when we lived in Brooklyn, in the Bedford-Stuyvesant section, one of the most difficult neighborhoods in the world, crime-ridden, very challenging. So I think I developed an instinct for fighting always for earning everything in my life. Prior to being elected, I was so happy to have helped all of the elected officials here in Arlington County and contribute to electing governors and statewide offices. And I see some of the champions that helped me along the way, like Enoviel Sanchez and Lenny Gonzalez and Andres Tovar, who helped in those statewide efforts fight for those democratic values. You know, I would describe myself as a product of previous progressive Democrats like Jim Hunter, and Charlene Bickford here, Charlene Bickford, the late Gene Crawford, and many other wonderful progressive Democrats who have made it possible that someone like me can run and be elected to public office. I want to thank all who were members of Team Tejada. I know that phrase has been coined by others, as we thought we were one of the originals to come out with a team something, Team Tejada, including my campaign managers, Ed Fendley, Peter Owen, Mike Lieberman, and Stacy White. And of course, everyone connected with everyone in our team. Hey, we won 6 elected campaigns, 6 contests, undefeated, all with challenges. So this year, as I was deciding what I would do, after I concluded my decision, I did not want it to cause a special election.
Thank you.
I've always believed in the team concept, that we need to work together as a family. And I know costly and all the logistics that can go into that huge effort. You know, the last time we had a special election, we elected someone who had been named Republican Volunteer of the Year, who ran on an anti-government agenda and who does not share our democratic values. So I hope that this year we can continue electing progressive Democrats. We are the Arlington County Democratic Committee. We support Democrats. We stand for Democrats. We want to support democratic values, and I hope we will continue to do that this year. I do hope we elect Democrats. I want to also thank my previous progressive colleagues who I've had the privilege to work with, including my former colleague and running mate, Paul Ferguson, Chris Zimmerman, Paul Ferguson, Chris Zimmerman, Barbara Favola, and now Mary Hines and Jay Fissette. Now, we've been accused of group thinking mentality sometimes, and people like to criticize and say stuff. Well, while I was in elected office, the group thinking mentality that was created got us to be one of the best communities in the United States. Continuously low crime and low unemployment, providing all, not some, but all the resources our high-performance schools ask for every year, and then some. When I was chairman, for example, in 2013, we had added an additional $13 million. The group thinking mentality got us triple bond rating every year that I've been in elected office. All of this is a result of making multiple progressive strategic investments after carefully planning and public participation and support. But standing up for progressive values could be at a crossroads in Arlington today. As a community, as Democrats, we need to decide if we will continue to make these long-term investments and lead with bold and innovative initiatives, or will we become a timid and stagnant community? And yes, we have some genuine challenges to confront ahead. Yet, some of our problems are first world problems to tackle. Are we victims of our own success? Is there a wealth disparity right here in Arlington County? And what are we, as Democrats, are going to do about it? Will we allow ourselves to become a new Arlington of rich, entitled people lacking in compassion, empathy, and a sense of community, viscerally opposed to government of any kind, opposed to everything and alleged overspending on every front? As for me, standing up for progressive democratic values led me to lead the establishment of the Office of the Public Defender for Arlington County and the City of Falls Church, create the Attention to Prevention initiative to keep kids from joining gangs in the first place, which led to our gang task force and to the region's focus on prevention, not suppression and deportation and all the nonsense. Fit Arlington initiatives, promoting a culture of fitness for all of us so that we can have different ages and abilities engaging in our fitness. Establishing our nonprofit resource center, supporting Bike Arlington's dedicated funding to expand our bike network. And in fact, just recently, I picked up an award on behalf of Arlington County from the Washington Area Bicycle Association, naming Arlington Bicycle Advocate of the Year because of our paving of our trails to make sure they're clear in the winter so people can commute in our trails. They're not just for walking around nicely and walking the dog or splashing the dog. They are commuter route, and they deserve the same attention as some of the arterials, so we have them available for thousands of people to commute. So we won that award. I'm very proud of those progressive values. In addition, supporting unequivocally and unapologetic the modern streetcar system with a plan to protect not some, but all of the affordable housing in that area. I'm proud that our progressive democratic values led me to establish the tax increment financing as part of the Columbia Pike Neighborhoods Area Plan, which now is a model for other parts of the county. And some were wondering if it will affect our AAA bond rating. Turns out that actually helped us because of the diversity of our funding and how we go, and it actually was a plus for us. Standing up for progressive democratic values led me to strongly support affordable housing efforts, including preserving a large segment of the low-income Buckingham community that was in danger of being completely demolished. Standing up for progressive democratic values empower me, and supporting low-income tenants, including rent assistance, helping the Biased Renters Arlington Voice, an organization that I strongly recommend you consider joining the board and helping because they advocate for low-income tenants, and increasing funding levels in an affordable housing investment fund so we can leverage all the dollars to help preserve and also create new affordable housing. I will never apologize for all those efforts. Standing up for progressive values, democratic values, led me to work to end homelessness in Arlington. I'm proud to be the honorary co-chair of a 10-year plan to end homelessness. We had the successful 100 homes for 100 homeless housing effort, and all of our vulnerable, most chronic individuals have been housed. All 100, and we are, and then some now, we also have others. Protecting our safety net, increasing support for mental health, not only when it's in the news for a bad thing that happened, but on an ongoing basis, and making sure that we in Arlington do our part to support mental health treatment. I also helped create the Nuevo Dia program, the only substance abuse program in Virginia for Spanish-speaking clients who may need help. The only. Speaking of the Latino community, standing up for progressive democratic values led me to establish the Latino Roundtable Forums every few months, and I created a partnership between the Greater Washington Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and our Economic Development Office, supporting and expanding the Shillington Employment and Education Center, the only official day labor site in the state of Virginia. We want to provide people a decent, dignified way where they can find work, look for work, and not have to be feeling sorry for that. I helped push for the official county website, but also in Spanish, probably among my most significant achievements, and I'm coming close to concluding. It took place in 2007, at the height of the anti-immigrant xenophobic wave in the country. I proposed, and my colleagues supported, a unanimous resolution in support of the positive contributions that immigrants bring to our community day in and day out, regardless of their immigration status. I'm proud that we're also, in Arlington, we're the first county in the U.S. to challenge the Secure Communities alleged federal initiative that was going to divide families. It has, and now finally it's been changed. We were the first to stand up and say this was wrong, it needed to be changed, and finally it's on its way to doing it. So to conclude, thanks, Democrats. Serving on the county board has allowed me the opportunity to tackle a broad range of issues that have strengthened our community. It has also been a real privilege and an honor to seek ways to empower low-income residents, minorities, and immigrants in Arlington, the region, the state, and across the country, and to encourage their participation in our society. I remain committed to all of Arlington, in particular, to ensuring that the least privileged are heard, protecting our safety net, fighting for affordable housing, providing a voice for many who too many times go voiceless in our community. I have enjoyed upholding these core values and will continue to do so in the future. And so, it has been and continues to be an enormous privilege to serve in elected office, and I'm very proud that during my tenure, our hometown here in Arlington was recognized time and again as one of the best run governments and communities in the United States. After proudly serving our Arlington community for close to almost 13 years, when December comes along, on the county board, I have decided not to seek the Democratic nomination for another term. But I will also do my part as part of a team helping those progressive Democrats in the future, and hope we can unite as we move ahead. I am and always will be grateful to the Arlington County Democratic Committee family and to the Arlington community overall for their support. I have tried to serve as an unapologetic progressive, and will look forward in another capacity to always continue to support those democratic values. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias por todo el